Over 60? Stop leg weakness fast with these 3 daily strength moves. Let's start by naming that quiet feeling you might have noticed lately. It's that moment of hesitation when you go to stand up from your favorite armchair, or the slight unsteadiness you feel stepping out of the car. Perhaps you find yourself gripping the stair rail just a bit tighter than you used to. That subtle whisper from your legs, telling you they don't feel quite as reliable as they once did. You are not imagining it. In my practice, I hear this from so many wonderful people just like you. It's a nearly universal experience. But here is what's so important to understand. This feeling is not a life sentence. It is not an irreversible decline you must simply accept. It is, in fact, your body's way of sending a very clear signal. And today, we are going to learn how to answer that signal with the right kind of simple, targeted movement that can lead to noticeable change. When I use the word fast, I want to be perfectly clear about what you can expect. We're not talking about a miracle overnight change. Fast means you may begin to feel a tangible difference in your steadiness and confidence within a matter of a few weeks. Why so soon? Because the first and fastest improvements happen inside your nervous system. It's like your brain is remembering how to efficiently communicate with muscles it hasn't called upon in a while. It's waking up connections that already exist. Now let's talk about strength. For our purpose, strength has nothing to do with heavy weights or bodybuilding. It has everything to do with function, the reliable power to stand up from the sofa without a struggle, the endurance to enjoy a longer walk, the confident balance to recover from a small stumble. This is the strength that safeguards your independence, and it starts with movement that is strategic, safe, and smart. Today, we're focusing on just 3 straightforward moves. Think of them as 3 pillars holding up your leg strength. The first is a stability move, your daily anchor to build unshakable balance from the ground up. The second is a power move, designed to reignite the spring in your step for tasks like stairs. The third is an essential mobility move that targets the hidden stiffness which can quietly undermine all your strength. Together, they create a complete 10-minute practice. These aren't exercises in the traditional sense. They're more like daily hygiene for your mobility, simple, safe, and specifically tailored for you. You've probably heard the term muscle loss, and it can sound quite alarming. In medical terms, we refer to this process as sarcopenia. It is true that, beginning in our middle years, if we lead a largely inactive life, we can experience a gradual reduction in muscle tissue. But I want to pause here and clarify something vitally important. The common story you might hear that severe weakness is just an unavoidable fact of aging is incomplete and frankly unhelpful. While age is a factor, the primary driver of significant muscle loss is not the years on the calendar. It is prolonged disuse. Think of it this way: your body is a brilliant, efficient system. It carefully allocates resources. If certain muscles are not called upon regularly, your body receives the signal that they are no longer essential, and it allows them to gradually diminish. But there's another, often overlooked part of this equation. It's not just the muscle tissue itself, it's the communication line between your brain and those muscles. That network can become less efficient, like a familiar pathway that gets overgrown from lack of travel. This is where our approach begins, not by trying to brute force new muscle immediately, but by first clearing and polishing those neural pathways, reminding your brain and muscles how to work together efficiently. That's where the first, faster changes begin. So, where does that early sense of improvement actually come from? The answer lies in your nervous system, long before any visible muscle growth occurs. Think of your brain as a conductor, and your individual muscle fibers as members of an orchestra. After a period of inactivity, that conductor isn't fully engaging every musician. Some sit idle. When you begin targeted movement, you are essentially teaching the conductor to cue every single player at the right time and with the right intensity. You're not adding new musicians to the orchestra in those first few weeks. You are simply getting the entire existing ensemble to play together, efficiently, and in harmony. This is why you can feel noticeably steadier on your feet without seeing a physical change in your legs. Your body's innate command system is waking up and re-establishing control. That reconnection is the source of your initial, faster win, a win of coordination and confidence. Before we begin any movement, we must establish our most crucial rule. This practice is founded on listening to your body, never on pushing through it. You should expect to feel a gentle muscular fatigue or a mild sensation of stretching. This is your body working. What you must never ignore is a sharp, stabbing, or shooting pain, especially in a joint. That is a clear stop sign. You are the ultimate expert on what you feel. We will always prioritize control over speed. Let your breathing be your guide. If you find yourself holding your breath, it's a signal you are straining. Our goal is a positive, mindful conversation with your muscles, not a battle that leaves you exhausted. If a particular movement doesn't feel right on a given day, honor that. Modify it, or simply set it aside. True, lifelong consistency is built by showing up on the days you feel capable, not by forcing yourself through discomfort that signals harm. Let's talk about why we begin with stability, not strength. Imagine your legs are like the cables on a magnificent suspension bridge. For that bridge to be strong and secure, every cable must be tensioned just right and work in perfect harmony with the others. If even a few are loose or pulling at the wrong time, the entire structure becomes unsteady. That's what happens within our own bodies. The muscles surrounding your hips, knees, and ankles must coordinate seamlessly to create a solid, reliable platform. This coordination is your balance system, your body's own built-in guidance system that tells you where you are in space. Without first tuning up this system, attempting to build raw power is like adding more weight to a wobbly table. It's inefficient and can even be risky. Our first move is designed to be that daily tune-up, a gentle reminder to all those stabilizing muscles to work together, creating the unshakable foundation everything else relies upon. Let's set up your first move together. Begin by placing a sturdy, non-rolling chair in front of you, or stand next to a stable countertop or table. This support is here solely for light touch, like a reassurance you can reach for, not something to lean your weight into. Now stand tall behind or beside it. Place your feet directly under your hips, about as wide as your hip bones, with your toes pointing comfortably forward. Imagine your feet creating the four corners of a solid rectangle. Distribute your weight evenly between both feet, and on each foot, feel a balance between the ball and the heel. Please soften your knees just a little. We never want them locked straight. Gently draw your lower abdomen inward, as if you are buttoning a snug pair of pants. This gently engages your core, your central pillar of stability. Now, rest just the tips of one or two fingers lightly on the chair back or counter. Your aim is to use this touch so lightly that you could lift your fingers away at any moment. Finally, pick a spot on the wall ahead of you to focus your gaze, a steady point to anchor your attention. This is your starting posture. It may look and feel like simply standing still, but in this deliberate, aligned stillness, you are already sending a wake-up call to the intricate network of muscles that guard your ankles, knees, and hips, teaching them their primary job, to hold you steady and secure. Now, for the next minute, we're going to shift from doing to feeling. This is where the real magic happens. Don't just stand there. Listen deeply to your body. Can you sense the subtle activation in the muscles of your inner thighs? Notice the gentle, supportive tension around your kneecaps. They are held stable, not rigidly locked. Become aware of how your weight is distributed. Is it perfectly even between your left foot and right foot? Now begin to explore. Make an almost imperceptible shift, moving your weight slowly toward your right side, then back to center, then, ever so slightly toward your left. Next, rock gently forward onto the balls of your feet, then back toward your heels, always returning to that neutral, balanced center point. Your entire goal is to maintain your tall, aligned posture while using your fingertip support as little as humanly possible. If you feel a small wobble or tremor, do not be concerned. This is actually a positive sign. It means those deeper stabilizing muscles are being called to work, learning to fire and correct. Keep your breath smooth and steady. In this minute of mindful attention, you are not passively standing. You are actively recalibrating your internal balance system, teaching your body and your mind the profound feeling of being grounded, centered, and secure from the inside out. Once holding steady feels completely natural, you are ready for the next step. From your solid stance, begin to slowly and deliberately transfer your weight onto your right leg. Your left foot should lighten its pressure on the floor, but keep the toes in contact. Hold this shifted position for a slow count of 3, feeling your right hip and leg muscles engage deeply to maintain your level posture. With control, return to center. Repeat to the left. This is not a large movement. It's a subtle, controlled tilt. You are practicing the most vital stability skill: how to gracefully recover your balance from a slight disturbance. Consider the simple act of rising from a seated position. It is, without exaggeration, one of the most important physical skills for maintaining your independence. This single motion is the ultimate real-world test of leg power, demanding coordinated strength from your glutes, thighs, and core muscles. When this begins to feel like a struggle, it quietly shrinks your world, making you think twice about where you sit and what you do. Our second move is to take this very challenge and transform it into your most powerful tool. We are going to practice the sit to stand, but we will do it with precise, deliberate technique. This is not merely about getting up. It's about training your body to recruit its largest, most powerful muscles efficiently. Mastering this efficient movement directly translates to easier steps on the stairs, confident strides off curbs, and smoother transitions in and out of the car. You are not just doing an exercise, you are practicing for life, reclaiming the essential spring in your step. Because this movement is so vital, we must learn to perform it with perfect form to protect your joints and get the full benefit. First, choose a firm, stable chair of standard height. Avoid deep, soft sofas. Sit toward the front edge. Now let's walk through the 5 key points. First, your foot placement. Your feet should be flat on the floor, hip width apart, and positioned slightly back so your shins are nearly vertical. Second, your seated posture. Sit tall with your chest lifted and shoulders gently drawn back, as if a string is pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Third, the initiating lean. This is crucial. Instead of rounding your lower back, hinge forward from your hip joints, leading with your chest. Think of bringing your nose out over your toes. This positions your powerful glute muscles to do the work, not your lower back. Fourth, the driving force. Press firmly through your entire foot. Don't let your heels lift, and consciously squeeze your buttock muscles as you drive yourself up to a full, tall stand. Do not use your hands to push off your knees or thighs. Finally, fifth, the return. This is where tremendous strength is built. Reverse the motion with slow, deliberate control. Lower yourself back down until you just gently tap the chair seat with your body. Then immediately begin your next stand. This controlled lowering trains the eccentric strength that is essential for safely managing your body weight in daily life. Now, let's talk about the rhythm that makes this practice so effective. Aim for 5 to 8 repetitions, but always let perfect form be your guide, not the number. We'll use a specific tempo, 3 seconds to stand up powerfully, a 1-second pause at the top where you stand fully tall and engaged, and then 3 full seconds to lower yourself back down with absolute control. It's that slow, deliberate lowering phase where some of the most important strength is built. Coordinate your breathing with the movement. Exhale steadily as you push up to stand, and inhale slowly as you lower back down. If maintaining this control for 5 reps is your starting point, that is a perfect victory. If 8 feels manageable, you might add 1 more each week. This is not a race. It is a rhythmic, mindful practice where the slow tempo ensures you are building genuine, joint-friendly muscular strength, not just using momentum to swing yourself up and down. Your strength will vary from day to day, and your practice should honor that. You are always in charge of the dial. To make the move easier and ensure success, use a higher chair. A firm cushion can help, or lightly rest your hands on your thighs for a bit of assistance. The goal is always to complete the movement with excellent form. When you're ready for more challenge, you have several options. You can pause for 2 seconds halfway down during the lowering phase. You can lower yourself only until you barely tap the chair, hovering just above it before rising again. Or you can hold light weights or a household object like a full water bottle at your chest. The most important principle is to listen to your body's signals each day. Some days, the simpler version is the absolute win. True, lasting power is rebuilt through the consistent practice of correct movement at the level that is right for you today. Now, let's address a component of strength that often goes unnoticed until it becomes a problem: mobility. You could be building very capable muscles, but if the joints they are meant to move, your hips, knees, and ankles are stiff and restricted, you cannot fully access that power. Stiffness acts like a silent thief. It quietly shortens your walking stride, makes rising from a seated position more difficult, and can subtly undermine your balance. This isn't merely about feeling tight or wanting more comfort. It is fundamentally about function. A muscle can only contract powerfully and effectively if the joint it crosses is free to move through its intended range. Think of it this way: you can have the strongest door in the world, but if its hinges are rusty, it will not open smoothly. Our final move is designed to gently oil those hinges, targeting the areas where stiffness most commonly lurks, thereby unlocking and freeing the strength you are diligently building. Our third move is a modified version of what many trainers call the world's greatest stretch, and for good reason. It efficiently addresses multiple areas in one graceful flow. Begin standing behind a sturdy chair, holding the back for support. Step your right foot forward into a comfortable, small lunge. Keep your torso tall and upright. Here, you should feel a gentle, opening sensation in the front of your left hip. Hold this position for 2 slow, deep breaths, allowing that area to release. Next, while maintaining the lunge, place both hands on the chair back in front of you. From this anchored position, gently rotate your torso to open toward the right side, letting your gaze follow over your right shoulder. Feel a comfortable twist through your spine and through your torso. Hold this rotation for another 2 breaths, feeling your chest and upper back open. Finally, from this rotated position, begin to gently shift your hips backward, keeping your right leg extended. You will feel the sensation shift into the back of your right thigh, your hamstring. Hold this final stretch for 2 more breaths, exploring the sensation without forcing it. Then, slowly reverse the steps to return to the starting position. That completes one side. You have just mobilized your hip flexors, your spinal rotation, and your hamstrings in one connected, mindful sequence. Now, repeat the entire 3-part flow, stepping forward with your left foot. Please remember, this is not about forcing a stretch or pulling yourself into a painful position. It is about gently inviting more movement into tight areas. You should only ever feel a mild sensation of opening or release, a gentle ah, never a sharp ow. Breathe deeply and visualize the breath softening the stiffness. Your goal is not to achieve a perfect pose, but to make your existing movement feel fluid and more effortless. This daily, subtle practice is the maintenance that prevents the slow creep of stiffness. It oils the hinges, allowing the powerful strength you are building to express itself freely. Now, let's put it all together into your simple, daily plan. Here is your complete 10-minute practice map. Always begin with your stability anchor. Spend 1 to 2 minutes finding your balance, doing your gentle weight shifts, and tuning into that solid foundation. Next, move to your power stance. Take 3 to 4 minutes to perform your 5 to 8 perfect sit-to stands, focusing on that 3-second down, 3-second up rhythm with control. Finally, complete your mobility flow. Spend 2 to 3 minutes slowly moving through the 3-part stretch on each side, breathing into each position. The entire sequence takes about 10 minutes. Practice this once a day, ideally in the morning to set a strong tone for your day, or in the early evening. Remember, unwavering consistency is far more powerful than occasional perfection. If you miss a day, there is no guilt or need to catch up, simply begin again the next day. This is your personal, sustainable system for maintaining the strength and mobility that underpin your independence. What you are building with these 3 moves is far more than leg strength. It is your personal freedom. This practice safeguards your confidence and your joy in daily life. You have the power to profoundly influence how you age. Start gently, be consistent, and trust this process. Your future self will thank you.